In the headlines, reactions trail cash withdrawal limit introduced by Central Bank of Nigeria. Labour Party presidential candidate takes campaign to Owerri, promises to end ASUU doctors' strike. National Security Advisor raises investigative panel on oil theft, says Nigeria may lose $23 billion. And away from Nigeria, Tanzania scraps independence celebration, diverts funds to kids. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. And now the details. Point of sale POS operators are not happy with the Central Bank of Nigeria pegging cash withdrawals to 20,000 naira per day. The directive comes as the CBN prepares to effect a change of naira notes in circulation starting next week, precisely on December 15. Kabiru Lawan speaks to some operators on the development.
Operators also called on government to have a rethink on the policy, adding that youths in the country are predominantly using the POS as a means of livelihood.
So we now that is doing the POS is because we don't have any other thing to do. Now that we have this one to do, they want to snatch it away from us. And this bank that is giving us, maybe if I go to bank today, I will get like 400,000 or 300,000. We'll come back and sit down and manage it. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000. The money will be gathering, maybe 100, before you know it, we get up to 5,000 a day or 4,000 naira. But now, with this kind of rule now, there is no way we can get even 2,000 or 1,500. So 1,500 will not buy me food, morning food and night food.
The way they want to do their thing, let them do. Let them not change our rules. Those things they are saying will affect us youth, to affect us, and to make us change our mind. Otherwise, get other things done. So they should just leave the olden days rule. If they want to change the currency, let them change the currency only and leave our rules. We withdraw 20,000. That is not possible now. Like me, like this, a day I run 100,000 a day. So I'll just withdraw 20 and wait for another day. That is not good now. And it will not fasten our work.
Reactions continue to trail the CBN decision to limit cash withdrawals to 20,000 naira per day for individuals. Some Abuja residents called on government to reverse the new rules, which they attribute to the new redesignation of naira notes. They further said new rule will affect the economic activities of the country.
I actually feel it's so crazy because with the limitation of withdrawal, which is just 20,000, I think it's going to affect a lot of businesses, because you can't expect someone people that own businesses, withdraw money that is not up to 100,000 or much more than that, because some people, the moment they go out with their business, the amount of money they need in their business is much more than that which we are talking about.
To me, I feel that it's very strange. People will find it difficult to cope with that. But I just hope and pray that it will give us the ultimate benefit for what the federal government of CBN wants to achieve to ensure that the economy has a seamless flow of cash instead of stocking it in people's hands. And I believe that cash transfers are also good. Much advantage of cash transfer. The disappointment there sometimes is that when you walk to ATM to transfer, sometimes they will tell you no cash. And you may be needing this money urgently to do certain things. So I also hope that they also improve on the other side of it.
The CBN, and in a letter addressed to banks and other financial institutions, announced new limits on cash withdrawals over the counter and via automated teller machines ATM, point of sales POS, and also checks. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, as reactions continue to trail the central bank's new circular pegging maximum cash withdrawals per week for individuals at 100,000 naira and 500,000 naira for corporate organizations, a financial analyst, Mukhtar Mohammed, said some businesses, including point-of-sale operators, may find it difficult to survive.
The POS terminals, people are the first to complain about it because they are the ones that really service the rural area, the non-banking that want to include financial inclusion to them. Remember that the POS terminal man is not that he's taking that cash, he has those cash in the bank, he's just linked to his POS so that he can do payments. And there's a minimum to what they can do. So I think the CBN need to look at this, especially when you are talking about financial inclusion. And again, in terms of infrastructure, how many banks have this infrastructure in the rural area? So for me, I think they need to look at that, because otherwise you may just kill a sector that is beginning to provide job for Nigeria.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has forwarded the names of Aisha Ahmed and Edward Adamu to the Senate for confirmation as deputy governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Buhari's request is contained in a letter read on Tuesday's plenary by the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan. The report.
According to the letter, President Buhari is asking the Senate to confirm the duo to serve for a second and final term at the Apex Bank as deputy governors. In another letter, President Buhari also asked the upper chamber to confirm the appointment of Ambassador Ayuba Jacob as a member of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission.
In accordance with the provisions of Section 8, subsection 1 and 2 of the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Establishment Act 2007, I have the pleasure to forward here with names of Mrs. Aisha Ndanusa Ahmad and Edward Lemtek Adamu for confirmation by the Senate as deputies governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria for the second and final term. While looking forward for your usual expeditious consideration, please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari. Another letter from Mr. President. Dear Distinguished Senate President, confirmation of appointment. Pursuant to paragraph 31, part 1 of the third schedule of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, I am pleased to forward for confirmation by the Senate the nomination of Ambassador Ayuba Jacob Mbako as a member of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission representing Federal Capital Territory. The CV is hereby attached. While looking forward for your usual expeditious consideration, please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
He equally forwarded the FCT 2023 statutory budget to the Senate for perusal and approval.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration FCT 2023 statutory budget proposal is hereby sent to us by Mr. President.
The upper legislative chamber also took a decision on the remittance of the Nigerian Maritime Security Trust Fund Bill 2022 and passed it for presidential assent.
Now, on political matters, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, on Tuesday said he will solve the perennial strikes by the Academic Staff Union of universities if elected next year. He also assured Nigerians that he will make sure academic programs are not disrupted by the incessant work to rule by academic staff and other workers in higher institutions. Obi, who spoke on Tuesday at a presidential rally in Owerri, Imo State, said that his administration will work hand in hand with students in order to understand and address their problems. He also promised to make investments in education, health and agriculture his priority.
We get from crude oil. Imo State can export palm oil. Imo State can export palm oil. Imo State can export cassava. I say we will go back to agriculture. We will go back and create a job. Our people can no longer debate. I assure you that we will make sure that we open the channels from Owerri to Port Harcourt for export of palm oil and cassava.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, says he is the front runner in the 2023 presidential election. Tinubu, in an interview with BBC Africa, explained that the sources of his wealth, saying that he is the most investigated and most accused former governor. He said that the APC administration has tried addressing security challenges.
Chaos is easy. To bring normalcy and redecorate is more difficult. Here we are, Buhari has degraded, but not completely eliminated as worth. Then we talk briefly of lethal weapons and ammunition and technology equipment that could have helped accelerated the cleanup of those people. The West is yet to feel comfortable enough with the Buhari administration to sell us the arms.
Do you think that will change? That might change with you, or will that change with you?
It could change. It might not change, but we have to look at alternatives, and those are the mass recruitment of individuals in a volunteer army to really clean up.
Still on political matters, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has called on Nigerians to give his party another opportunity during the 2023 elections. Atiku said the country enjoyed its greatest growth when the PDP was in power for 16 years. The PDP standard-bearer spoke on Tuesday when he visited the Oni of Ife, Ade Ogunwusi, at his palace in Ile-Ife, Osun State. Atiku also reiterated his plan to restructure the country if elected president, noting that it is the only way to guarantee growth and progress. He added that his administration will ensure that power is devolved to state, local government councils and traditional rulers. 23 Abuja-Kaduna train passengers released from captivity in October want government to look into their plight, as many of them still suffer from health challenges and depression. The victims, while addressing journalists in Kaduna, said some of them find it difficult to survive after losing their jobs while in bandits' captivity. Bello Musa reports.
These are among the last 23 victims of train attack released by terrorists on October 5th. Though they have been reunited with their families, but life has not been easy for them as they face many challenges after regaining freedom.
Currently now everybody is facing different challenges with the things we've lost, and many of us are even working under a private institution, and while these incidents occur, definitely they are going to replace you with somebody. You are not going to, they won't wait for you to let this person come back first, no. So many of us have even lost what they are doing.
So actually the limit of trauma is over to us, and then nobody going to assist us. We are spending a day and night going to hospital without the cover of government. But we really appreciate them for rescuing us. But the limit of the health challenge we are facing now is so critical. And then all our business has been down.
To alleviate their suffering, they plead with government to support them so that they could be mentally stable.
Actually, they did collected our contacts, but they were going to get back to us. But till now, nobody said anything. And we are even facing different intimidation from our fellow humans that we collected huge amounts of money from the federal government, and we are not ready to spend it. And even some of them are even criticizing us and telling us that we have money, and we are claiming that we don't have money. That how can somebody like us have a conference with the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we end up saying we don't have anything?
People that they wish to come to assist us, they are now intimidating us, saying that a federal government give us a striking hook of money to us.
Recalling their experience as victims of train attack, they want the government to strengthen security measures as the Abuja-Kaduna train service resumed operation.
My advice is they should be very, very careful, honestly. And all the maintenance they know they've not done, they should do it. And they shouldn't see as if, okay, the train is moving something nobody know. Because somebody that is wiser than you can do more. So it's better for them to be extravagant, they should be foreseeing in what is going to happen. You understand? Those bulletproof something and all those, they should have a CCTV, everything that would, if there is anything on the way, as in something, let me say some meters away, the train should be able to capture.
It's been a while since these victims regained their freedom, but they said they are still mentally devastated from the trauma of the attack. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at how commercial drivers navigate fuel shortage. Details of this and more after the break.
As part of security measures in place to ensure a secure resumption of the Abuja-Kaduna train route, the federal government has directed that the use of the National Identity Number, NIN, is now compulsory for passenger profiling when boarding the Abuja-Kaduna train service. All intending train passengers are to note the new ticketing guidelines. Existing profile owners are required to update their profiles with their NIN. Failure to update will reflect the profile as unverified. Where a profile is not verified, the intending passenger will not be able to purchase a ticket. All new profile registration will now require passengers to include their NIN. All tickets for minor passengers must be bought by an adult. Where the minor has no NIN, the minor passenger's ticket will reflect the NIN of the adult making the purchase. However, only the minor passenger's name will reflect on the ticket and will be verified during the ID check process. It is dangerous to use your NIN to purchase tickets for unknown persons. This may lead to criminal prosecution. Passengers are advised to conduct themselves orderly and avoid altercation with NRC and security officials, as defaulters will be duly prosecuted and severely punished. For NIN, simply dial *346# on your mobile phone and follow the prompts. This message is from the Nigerian Railway Corporation.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130.
A Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back from that break. Here is a recap of our top stories. Reactions trail cash withdrawal limit introduced by Central Bank of Nigeria. Labour Party presidential candidate takes campaign to Owerri, promises to end ASU doctor strike. And also, moving on, sensational entertainer D'banj has been reportedly arrested by the police in Abuja. It was gathered that D'banj was arrested by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, for allegedly diverting hundreds of thousands of naira from the NPower project. It was learned that the singer, who had failed to honor his summons for months, surrendered himself on Monday. He was then reportedly detained and denied bail. D'banj had reportedly connived with corrupt government officials to introduce ghost beneficiaries into the payroll of the funds, and the monies were later traced to accounts associated with the singer. But reacting, his close associate Malam Yankee denied his arrest. Yankee, the singer, said the singer was invited and not arrested. The National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, retired on Tuesday, inaugurated 11-man special investigative panel on oil theft losses in Nigeria. The panel, which is chaired by the Interim Administrator, Presidential Amnesty Program, retired Major General Bari Ndiomu, has seasoned administrators and retired top military and police officers as members, with Mr. David Atta as secretary. While inaugurating the panel, Monguno said that Nigeria was currently facing monumental loss of revenue that ought to have accrued from the sale of crude oil, being the main source of its foreign exchange earnings. He said that the escalation of acts of vandalism and theft of crude oil had led to a significant decline in production, with associated impact on revenue. According to him, the enormous losses are caused mainly by oil theft orchestrated by unscrupulous elements. The terms of reference, according to NSA, are to ascertain the circumstances surrounding the illegal insertion into the Trans-Escravos pipeline around Yokri area in Burutu, the local government area of Delta State. Now, increase in petrol price is taking a toll on commercial drivers and motorcycle operators in Gombe State amidst fuel scarcity in some parts of the country. Ibrahim Ismail speaks to some commercial drivers and motorcycle operators on the effects of fuel scarcity and price hike as it relates to the current economic realities in the country.
Although the Nigeria Petroleum Company NNPC Limited said it has over 2 billion liters of petrol in stock, which is equivalent to over 30 days of sufficiency, fuel scarcity and hike in prices of the commodity continue to inflict hardship on Nigerians. Kaua Muhammad is a commercial driver that runs intrastate travel services in Gombe. He said the fuel scarcity is bringing unnecessary hardships on both passengers and drivers alike. We only buy the product at marketers' stations, but not at government's prices. It costs 250 naira per litre. It affects my work. 4,000 naira worth of petrol then now costs 4,500 naira. We are suffering. We need the government to address this fuel crisis. Motorcycle and tricycle operators are also affected by the scarcity and price hike of petrol as they purchase the product above official pump price and by extension charge their passengers higher. I bought fuel 250 naira per litre. This is how we manage to operate and help people, but we don't blame the marketers. We should spend only 20 to 30 minutes in filling stations, but now we spend up to an hour or more in queues, which is not supposed to be, and sometimes we only buy at black markets. While the NNPC and the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, have different explanations as to why the scarcity of the product persists, it is obvious that the masses are going through unprecedented economic hardship. It is hoped that the product will be available in the shortest possible time as holiday season approaches. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Now, away from Nigeria, Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has cancelled Independence Day celebrations scheduled for Friday and directed that the budget instead be used to build dormitories for children with special needs. The 61st Independence Day event was to cost $445,000, money that will be used to build 8 dormitories in primary schools around the country. Tanzania's Minister of State, George Simbachawene, on Monday said that the money had been disbursed. He said that instead of having parades and other national celebrations, the East African country will commemorate Independence Day by having public dialogues on development. Usually, Independence Day celebrations are marked with pomp and state banquets, and this is not, however, the first time Tanzania has cancelled the celebrations. In 2015, then President John Magufuli cancelled celebrations and diverted funds towards the building of a road in the commercial capital, Dar es Salaam. And in sports news, Goncalo Ramos scored a stunning hat-trick as a sleek Portugal thrashed Switzerland 6-1 to storm into the quarterfinals of the World Cup for the first time since 2006. Portugal coach Fernando Santos took the brave call to bench Cristiano Ronaldo and was rewarded with an artful display from his side as they set up a last-8 clash with Morocco, who stunned Spain in a penalty shootout earlier on Tuesday. Pepe had doubled Portugal's lead with a powerful header from a Bruno Fernandes corner, and Rafael Guerreiro refled in third and their fourth before Rafael Leo completed the route in added time with a curled finish. In between those, Manuel Akanji scored a consolation goal for the Swedes for a corner through, though it was nothing more than that. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube channel as displayed on your screen. My name is Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.